welcome to another episode of the Jumping the Rail podcast here on the JTR Podcast Network. This is Mark Reb coming to you from the Noodles position in Champaign, Illinois, joined as always by my buddy Minderz. And we're going to get into it here in a bit, Minderz, but you're giddy right now.
I'm very giddy. Very, very, very giddy. I was doing my happy dance earlier.
You were, but we'll talk all about that here.
And I hurt your eardrums, and I'm sorry.
A little bit. I saw you loaded up, so I was kind of braced for it. But
no, you weren't.
I'm trying to save a little face here.
No. Hey, I don't blame you because I squealed. It was fun.
It's true.
What is up, Dwayne?
So we got a good one today, Minderz. We're going to talk about
Sean, don't even start. If you're in the group already, don't even start. We will get there.
I think we're going to skip NXT this week. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, you're not. We're definitely not. And you get to explain that one.
Okay, Dwayne, Eric Priest. He is a Chicago area independent wrestler from the late 90s, early 2000s, on through pretty much present day. But he was a Steel Domain guy, trained with Ace Steel and Punk and all those guys. I knew him from like NW Midwest, IWA Mid-South. But yeah, real talented guy. And apparently he had a motorcycle accident over the weekend. So good thoughts to the family and all that stuff. I think there's a GoFundMe to help out his son going around. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, so.
Look who's here.
Yeah.
Talk about being giddy. I've been giddy quite a few times this week.
You've been pretty giddy. Going all the way back to when the people at the expo said someone's name and he appeared.
Uh-huh. We believed.
But no, we're going to be making picks on Elimination Chamber today. We got to talk about, number one, we got to talk about Raw last night. We got to talk about SmackDown, especially the end of SmackDown. And although I will say, I'm glad we don't do this show on Saturdays because I wouldn't know what to say about that. But Cody actually kind of made it make a little bit of sense last night.
On Monday? Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about some other little newsy items. And then we also do have a guest today, former Impact and AEW wrestler currently on the Indies. Friend of a friend, Fuego del Sol, is going to be joining us for a bit. So we're looking forward to that. Maybe we can get some dirt on old Stackhouse from Fuego.
Don't give me ideas. I like to stir the pot.
Dwayne's challenging me. But anyway. So let's start off our usual way, Minderz. We're going to test your brain.
Oh, Lord.
And
here we go.
I don't think you'll have as much problem this time. But
I love how when you started out like that.
All right, it's time for Name That Wrestler. Minderz, you know how this works. I show you a picture. You get to discern who the picture is of. And I try not to make too big of a fool out of you.
Try.
This is a black and white photo of a wrestler from a previous era.
Okay.
Not horribly unrecent.
Okay.
But are you ready?
Sure. Hi, Barry. Vader.
I told you we wouldn't have any trouble with that one.
Nope. Didn't have a problem with that one. That one was easy.
I figured I would do an easy one.
You did. The Kevin Sullivan and Dutch Mantel
I was going to say.
one. Yeah.
Specifically Sullivan, because I kind of tipped you off with Man Sweater in the hints on that one.
That was easy, but hey, that's just kind of getting ready for Dark Side of the Ring, because I'm pretty excited to see that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, Minderz, let's move on here. We got to talk Hoots and Judy's.
Okay.
And, start with our good hoot of the week here, and I'll let you go first because
Well, I'm gonna have a good hoot. I'm gonna have a good hoot tomorrow night too.
we almost had the same hoot, but I changed to somebody else.
Did you already have him as your hoot?
No.
Well, here's the thing. So
you picked him first.
I knew AJ was going with R-Truth.
Because of Louisiana Night and the Po' Boy.
Yes. And because of almost counting the ref out. It was funny. It was good.
Classic Truth.
But Classic Truth, national legend, national treasure, not national legend. Yes. National treasure. But I'm going with Akira Tozawa, especially after last night, because I'll tell you what, he gave Gunther a run for his money at the beginning of that. Like, I believed it for a little bit.
Man, Tozawa is so good, and you forget how good he is until he actually gets to show it, because he's kind of bogged down the right word for, do you think, Minderz, with the Alpha Academy gimmick?
He's bogged down with just comical. I wish he wasn't so comical.
And I think Gunther said this much last night before the match.
Well, and then he even made the comment about how much they had worked to change their bodies in order to fit in. I was like, yeah, because you go back and look at what Tozawa used to look like. Oh boy, big difference.
But man, Tozawa was so good.
He really is.
But
I was impressed with him last night.
I'm impressed with him every time. I was expecting a good match from him and Gunther.
I did too. I almost said, why had we not picked this before? But then I remembered that
we never see him. He's always
a joke
with Otis.
He's a joke.
No. His gimmick is a joke.
His gimmick is a joke.
Tozawa proved last night he is not a joke.
Yeah, he is not a joke. And I hope he really did earn Gunther's respect to an extent. So.
Yeah. I got a feeling, are we going to get Gunther and Otis next?
It'll be a blow-off match, but yeah, maybe.
Is Otis going to look for payback?
Because
if you get serious Otis, then that's another one that could be a sleeper.
Could be, but I don't see it happening.
Oh, he's going to jiggle his thighs and do a worm.
Okay, move on. We got to move on, because this is all what we'll talk about later when we talk about Raw.
Okay. My hoot, I'm going to, later in the show, I'm going to give mine to Seth Rollins for his promo with Cody. I don't know what he was wearing.
Raincoat and boots.
But this morning I was thinking about this because Busted Open, they were saying the same thing. He shouldn't be cutting a serious promo dressed like that. But I made my peace with it because I thought about it, and I'll justify it with a question.
Okay.
If Randy Savage was cutting a serious promo, what would he be wearing in the ring?
Very true. I see your point.
He'd be wearing the neon fringy jacket and the cowboy hat and the boots, and he'd be talking like this. So I've learned to move on from criticizing Seth coming out in the goofy outfit and the dance and all that stuff, because Macho would do the same thing.
Well, it's kind of like how we were talking the other night. We said, I guess we got to trust the process.
Yep, you always got to trust the process.
You got to trust the process.
Mm-hmm. And we'll talk more about that during the Raw recap also. But let's move on to Judy's, Minderz. And again, I will let you go first.
I only had one, although I about went with what yours was, but I had asked you.
Yeah, we almost had to split Judy's.
Yeah, we almost had to split Judy's, and then I said, no, let me watch a couple other things, and then I'll get back with you. And then Jordan Grace came out and was a freaking beast on NXT last week. She basically took out all of Fallon.
Fatal Influence.
Yeah, Fatal Influence. She almost took them all out single-handedly. And I think Stephanie and Julia need to be a little concerned, because she's eyeballing both belts.
I'd be worried.
And it was almost like they needed her to come save them. And that was kind of the feel you got. And I don't know how well that's going to...
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to go. But
I don't think we're ever going to get our Zarya and Jordan tag team.
No, I'm not sure why they have Zarya teaming with Sol Ruka. Nothing against her, but
they actually work really well together. Reb?
Yeah. Oh, I see.
You see?
I see.
So Dwayne says, something else. I believe it will come out. Naomi took out Jade.
Stuff with
those. Has he not been listening to us for the past 2 weeks?
All right. Well, speaking of Naomi, my Judy Hood is getting split 4 ways, Minderz, and I'm going to the main event from last night.
It was a good main event. I'll give you that.
This was probably one of the best women's tag matches I've seen in WWE since they started their tag division.
Yeah, it was very good. It was very good.
It went just about how I figured it was going to go, and you remember my prediction about how all this is going to play out, Minderz.
Yep, they listen.
This is step 1.
This is step 1.
Now we'll find out.
And did you notice who took the pin?
It was Naomi. Now, if it comes down to Naomi and Bianca at the end of Chambers, then I'll know they're paying attention.
Yeah, they'll definitely be paying attention then.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, really strong match. I like Liv and Raquel as a tag team. It gives a lot of Shawn and Diesel vibes.
Yeah. Haven't been on here every week. Well, you're lost. You would have known we've already predicted that 2 weeks ago.
Well, we're glad you're here when you are, Dwayne.
We are. We're glad you're here when you are. But yeah,
strong main event.
I can't wait till you get to Stooge of the Week.
Oh yeah.
I'm really excited about your Stooge of the Week. So anyway, are you going to talk more about that tag team, or are you just going
to? There's not a whole lot to say. I mean, everything they did was darn near perfect, right down to Dom's interference. The referee was in the right spots the whole match. All the near falls looked good. Nobody missed any counts or forgot to get their shoulders up or anything like that.
Liv's face didn't get busted open.
Raquel did not hit people with her partner.
Right. She didn't hit somebody with somebody.
Yeah, the hot tags were good. I mean, everything about that match was solid.
It was solid. It was very solid.
And now Liv and Raquel are 3-time tag champs, which is a first since they introduced those belts. So kudos to them.
So now we go from the WWE Women's Division to Stooge of the Week. And in my opinion,
Mount Stooge more up here. Okay, so
Mount Stooge more up. And for once, it's not Mercedes.
It's not Mercedes. Okay, so I have broadened Stooge of the Week this week because it's easy to put the blame on one person, but I can't do that.
We can put it on 2 with a sub Stooge.
I'll put it on. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to throw the picture up.
Okay.
Okay. Here we see Thunder Rosa with a chair facing off with Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford with Chris Statlander laid out.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck happened here, man.
If you're holding a chair like that, shouldn't somebody get hit with it?
Or shouldn't somebody be moving?
Right?
I mean, here's something that got made a lot of sense to me today. Okay. Megan Bayne didn't do anything wrong because if Penelope Ford's not there, she could stare down Thunder Rosa with a chair.
Oh yeah,
and that would really build her up as a big bad mamma jamma, like what they could have done with Camille.
Exactly.
But everybody just froze, and then Penelope of all people took the chair away, and then
she didn't do anything with it.
She didn't do anything with it. So that's why Penelope and Thunder get the bulk of the Stooge hood here. But I'm going to throw in a bonus Stooge, and it's not Megan Bayne.
Okay.
It's the AEW social media team, because they decided to post this fiasco on their social media for 24 hours after the show was over. So everybody can see it.
Oh, that's brilliant. Let's do that. That makes so much sense.
It's just, and it makes me feel bad for Thunder Rosa because we're
fans. This is on Dynamite, right? This is
on Collision. Wait, no, it was on Dynamite, wasn't it?
Holy cow, we got somebody else new.
We do.
We do. Do you know who this is? I know who this is.
Judging from the first syllable of the first name and the last name, I got a hunch.
You got a hunch? We are joined.
Is he part of your favorite tag team?
Mm-hmm. Well, he's one of my favorite wrestlers. I have one of his cups are in here somewhere.
Uh-huh.
I'm concerned as to why Thunder Rosa didn't just give her the receipt and beat the brakes off her green ass. Yep.
Is it possibly because she's too nice?
Business. What's best for business? That was not best for business. Kiss my ass. Sorry.
No, but no, I think the bulk of the issue goes to Penelope, because when she saw that Thunder wasn't going to do anything, she should have at least made some sort of a move, not just taking the chair away.
Tripper, something.
Bubba said he knew how he had the exact way they could have saved that segment. Oh. Which is Thunder Rosa just dropped the chair and start throwing hands.
Anything.
That'd get something.
Anything. They didn't do shit.
Because if Penelope wasn't there, we had a Dusty Bubba moment with that chair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep, I do.
When Dusty hit Bubba over the head with the wooden chair, and Bubba just pulled it off his head, threw it away, and Dusty backed off. Terry Funk never would have let that happen.
Nope.
No, he would have thrown the chair before he got to the ring.
And then didn't they throw the chair at the end too, and it scooted past Megan on the floor, and I was like,
I think so.
This is so dumb. Why? And then this is where I turned it off because I couldn't take anymore. Yes. You know, it's funny. I'm gonna start judging how good AEW is by how far in the Dynamite I can make it. He probably is. Mick Foley's spinning in his living room over that spot. He probably is. I'm not gonna lie.
Might be.
All right, let's move on. What are we doing next?
Minders, you watched LFG on the A&E network.
Let's fucking go.
So, what did you think? Because, like I said, I don't get A&E, so I can't watch it.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Our favorite douche tried to suck up the Bully Ray.
Oh, our favorite douche is on Billy Ray's team.
Oh. You know what? If it's anybody, I'm glad he's on Bully's team.
And he bought deadly glasses.
Trying to suck up?
No, I think he's trying to cause problems. Yeah, me too. I totally am too, Dalton. Totally.
He seems like a shit disturber, that BF Ray or whatever his name is.
BJ Ray. Yeah, he is. He is a shit stirrer. Jasper Troy had a match this week. Chris Island had a match this week. I didn't take as good a notes this time. It's really good, Dwayne. If you have Sling, it's on Sling. Or if you have regular television. Shiloh Hill had another match this week. I didn't take as good a note, so I'll have to go back and rewatch it, and I'll have to report back next week when I get next week's notes too. But right now, I believe, if I remember correctly, I think Booker T got the point this week. So,
I can dig it.
Yep. So I see what you did there. Shut up. But let's see. Blank. My lady, my Panina.
Yeah.
Panina.
Please tell me she does a move called the Panina Press.
I don't think they've named it yet. And actually, she gets beat. So, but she's still they gave her a lot of. Yes, I'm ignoring your joke. They gave her a lot of credit with her, the way she is in the ring and how she's just basically Mama Badass. Oh dear God, you have that out now? Oh dear Lord. I'm still waiting because BJ tried to be the one to get the match this week, because what it's going to be, from what I'm gathering, is they're going to have 4 matches each week, so they're going to pick 8 people, and so it'll be 2 women's matches, 2 men's matches, and then they'll grade them, and then whoever the standout of the week is, that's who gets the point for their team.
So it's essentially their hoot of the week.
Basically. It really is. Braden J, BJ Ray, he went up to Bubba and said, "Hey, I want this match. I don't think anybody else can do this match." Yeah, Bubba didn't appreciate that at all.
I can't imagine he would.
Nope. Sure didn't.
They had one of the girls from LFG on Monday on Busted Open. I forget her name. But
Xena?
No, it was
Leela?
Yeah.
Or Lee. Hold on, it's Lee Laurel.
Yes, Laurel. That was it.
Yep. She's awesome. She did a really good job too. She had a match this week too. I'll take better notes next week, I promise.
Oh, you're good. You're good. All right. So essentially, this is just the ongoing saga of how this dipshit can piss off Bubba Ray every week.
Basically, for right now, he is one of the most entertaining parts of the show. I want to see how fast it's going to take for Bubba to punch him in the face, and I keep waiting for it, and I keep hoping.
I was waiting for Bubba to just tell him to get the fuck out of the building.
Well, that too. I don't care which it is. I don't know if Bubba has seen the glasses yet. So because it's only in the interviews that he's ever wearing them.
Does he have the tape on them?
Yes. So they look like yours, but with tape in the middle. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Well, let's move on here, Minderz, because we got a lot to get into. Let's talk. Let's talk Squared Circle Expo.
Mindy was very giddy, Mindy, earlier. I was say, how long do we have before we're joined with a guest?
We got about 8 minutes, give or take.
All right, cool. So, Squared Circle Expo, we went off the air, last Wednesday?
Uh-huh.
And a few people were announced. I'm super excited for you. Because Sean Waltman's going to be back this year.
Yes, so maybe I get my redemption because I missed out on X-Pac last year.
Yeah, so maybe you'll get your redemption. Prima Donnie. He's going to be there this year.
Huh?
Beast Man, do you have any idea who this guy is?
No idea.
Okay. And then they said his name. And he appeared. I'm so excited about Joe Hendry being there. So excited about Joe Hendry being there.
Friday only.
Friday only. I know. All my Friday onlys are going to be long freaking lines. I can already see it now. Well, because it's Joe Hendry and Jim Ross are both there Friday only.
Yeah. And Thunder Rosa, too. Because I need to get her to sign my busted open hat.
Oh, yeah. You want to ask her about throwing a chair?
No.
Please do. It would make me laugh. I want video to see if she hits you. So today, actually, they released a few more names. We've got Tatanka coming. I figure you would be pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that should be cool. I like Tatanka.
Anton Bamani,
I think it is. I'm not real familiar with him.
Not real familiar with him. Let me see if it gives us any.
He might have been was he there last year? Like in the Rumble?
Yes. Who's never been the small man in any. Was he that really big, tall? I think I remember him.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So Cincinnati Monster. So he's a Cincy guy.
Oh, okay. But not one of the Cincy boys.
But not one of the Cincy boys. Because speaking of the Cincy boys, one of the Cincy boys, along with a few others, are going to be there this year. I'm so excited he's making his debut. And I think I'm one of the few people that know who he is and have seen him wrestle in person. But it's Dalton McKenzie. And I'm so excited about Dalton McKenzie.
So is that all the Cincy boys now?
No, there's still one missing. Aaron's not been announced yet.
Oh, I thought they announced Aaron.
Aaron hasn't been announced yet. And then I squealed in poor Reb's ear because they announced.
Good reason.
For very good reason.
We've been grousing Minderz that they have announced many ECW names yet for the expo.
We have. And making his SCA. I didn't know his debut. He's never been there before?
Not that I remember.
Huh. Thanks to our friends at Black Label Pro. Okay. The ECW, WCW, and WWE legend is a formal title holder in all his previous major promotions, capturing the ECW World title, WCW United States title, the WWE Hardcore Championship, and so many more. And what about him? What about Raven? So excited that Raven's going to be there. Quote the Raven, nevermore.
Dude, we got to ask him about the grappler.
Oh, let's do it. I'm down. But that's everything they've announced so far. So More than likely, we'll get like another one later, and I'll be like,
Not yet, Dwayne.
What do you say? Not yet.
I think he was trying to guess.
Oh. Nope. Yes, Raven.
Oh, Dickie. I think Dickie just may have had a stroke.
Yeah, the only way it could get better for Dickie at this point
Sandman.
is if Sandman was going to be there. It's the only way it could get better. Definitely go check out Mad Bash because those guys, they're so much fun.
Absolutely. I may have tossed the idea out to Dickie about doing a watch along of Roller Jam, and
he's got to let Madrox know.
Oh yeah, but we've been doing all these TNN episodes for the Extreme F in Review, and that's a big part of TNN back then was Roller Jam. So
there's a lot of signs about Roller Jam.
Yeah, Cyrus was pitching the heck out of it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's very. I am really pumped to possibly meet Raven because he was always one of my favorites.
I forget you haven't met Raven before.
I have not met Raven yet.
See, Barry made Raven's day last time.
And he offended Shane Douglas in
the process. It was great.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, what do we want to talk about? We only got like 3 minutes.
We got a couple minutes here. All right. Well, I think... Well, we can't do our picks for the pay-per-view in 2 minutes.
No, but we can talk about TKO and Lucha Underground.
We can do that. So that news came down last week where it sounds like TKO was... I don't think it's official yet, but the rumors are going around that they're going to buy the intellectual property in the video library of Lucha Underground.
Which makes sense, because there's a lot of WWE guys that are... and gals.
Yeah.
That were in Lucha.
Did I rewrite the rumor was that they were going to do a relaunch of it, or is it just to use
I hope video? So. I'm interested to see how they would do it if they do a relaunch of it.
I mean, they'd have to hire Dario Cueto back, wouldn't they? He's a big fish in MLW under a different name.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. We'd have to see.
I don't know if AJ's listening to this, but can you have Lucha Underground without Dario Cueto involved?
Not really. You're going to need some sort of management.
I'm going to make a suggestion. If they can't get Dario, Armando Estrada.
There you go. That worked. The only thing I'm kind of bummed we won't have Mil Muertes. They'd have to get a new Mil Muertes.
Which one was Mil Muertes?
You would ask me right off, and I know it's one of the guys over at AEW.
Well, we're not going to have Killshot. We're not going to have Vince Puma.
Darn.
Would they possibly rebrand Santos and let him be King Cuerno again?
That'd be awesome.
They could hire Jeff Cobb so they can get Matanza.
That's it, Jeff Cobb.
Oh.
Thank you. You just had to go through the names. I would have figured it out.
I thought he was like Matanza Cueto or something.
Oh, yeah, he was Matanza. Who was Mil Muertes? Matanza's Matanza was who I was talking about.
Oh, I got you. They could always put that mask on Otis.
Oh, God. No, he's too short. Matanza's huge.
Cobb's not a particularly tall fella.
He looked tall around them. Again, that's not hard.
True.
But...
That's very true.
Oh, Ricky Banderas.
Oh, Ricky Banderas. Okay. Yeah, I remember him.
That was Mil Muertes.
Is El Rey Networks? I don't know. If it is, it's not anywhere where I have access to it. What?
Josh, can I come join? I'm sorry, Dickie, can I come join? I'm so excited because that's one of my favorite matches from Lucha Underground.
Ooh.
It's so good. It's so
I've heard you tell tales of this one.
I know. Vampiro and Penta? Oh, it's so good. It's probably one of mine and AJ's favorite matches, actually, from Lucha Underground. I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm super excited. I hope everything does work out to where we get, oh, he said I can join.
Hey, there you
go. But yeah, that's definitely a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I'm excited about that one.
Kind of goes along with them relaunching Evolve.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for that one too.
Yeah, and that gives a thought to have their new WWE ID championships.
I got to meet one of the WWE ID guys this weekend.
Oh yeah, who would that be?
I got to meet Aaron Roberts.
I hear he's a problem child.
Well, now he's just the problem. Because he informed me.
I thought that was Marina Shafir. I don't know her.
I don't know her either. But Aaron, he said, because I asked Aaron when I went to talk to him, I asked him if he remembered me. And he said, no, I don't remember you, but you called me problem child. So I know that you've been following me for at least 5 years. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, that's me. Sorry. Whoops.
Did you take any signs with you on Saturday?
There's not enough room to have signs down there.
That's true. I forgot it was Edgewood.
Yeah.
The Edgewood Superdome.
Mm-hmm. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow.
Yes.
Hint, 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 Mr. Davis, tune in tomorrow. I have a lot to say. Because you didn't go, but I did.
I didn't go.
Yup. All right, what do we want to talk about now? We made it through that. We're doing all of our little stuff, so that way if our guest shows up. You did tell him Central Time, right?
Well, he lives in Texas, so.
Oh, okay. I don't even remember what else you had on our list.
I sent you the list.
I know. So I couldn't remember what else we had on there.
Well, we got Raw, we got the Rock Cody interaction, we got the Chamber, we got.
Why don't we talk this Rock and Cody interaction, because I watched SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And can somebody please tell The Rock if he's going to cuss during the whole damn time, not to even bother, because then people have no idea what he's saying?
I get the impression that The Rock just doesn't care, so he just does whatever he wants out there.
That was. Sorry. Lucha Underground moment. I know The Rock's going to do whatever the hell he wants to, but it's just frustrating because you sit there and you listen to it, and this is exactly. And then it goes to this. That's what you get whenever it's.
Oh, you muted on purpose. Okay,
I did. See? You know what? I don't hate that idea. I don't hate the idea.
So it just seems like The Rock is really wanting to recreate the whole Austin McMahon stuff with Cody. If you ask me.
Stop it.
I'm just saying.
I know, and I don't understand why. You're not gonna repeat it.
He's trying to catch lightning in a bottle for a second time.
Ain't gonna happen.
Well, you know that, and I know that, but I mean,
although I am kind of looking forward to Cody as Homelander, but
I don't think it's going to be Cody.
Roman?
Cena.
I could see that.
Think Austin McMahon at WrestleMania 17.
I could see that.
I also thought maybe Drew, but I think they've got Drew earmarked for Damian Priest for Mania.
I'm picturing him saying this in the name. In the voice. Well, damn, son. I'm like a scar-ass soul. I want a mud hole in your ass. I want it dry. We need these guys on here more often.
Yes. I agree.
But yeah, I did understand it a little bit more last night.
Mm-hmm.
But I still wish I knew what Rock said, although the whole Goosebumps thing is really starting to get annoying with me. But what do you do?
Yeah, well, when you don't wear sleeves, you get cold easily.
Very true.
Did you watch the press conference after SmackDown?
Nope. I didn't even watch SmackDown until Sunday.
Apparently, The Rock was using a few too many inside terms, talking to the press, and got a little bit of grief online about that.
Maybe it's a Terramana. Maybe it's a Terramana.
It might be. It might be those energy drinks that he sells.
Oh, that too. That too. Oh boy! As you down some more soda. Did you finally get your mix right?
I think I got it figured out.
Okay, good.
It's 2 pumps of the syrup.
Ah, okay. So, what do you want to talk about now?
See, now you're sounding like Cody.
No, because then I know what we're going to talk about now.
Oh, my goodness.
NXT? You want to talk? Oh, never mind.
Been in all that Minderz because our guest has arrived. So, say hello to, you may know him from Impact, you may know him from AEW. He's been tearing up the indies everywhere. Fuego del Sol, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Pretty good. You've come on high recommendations from our friend Sam Stackhouse to come on with us because he's been on a few times.
So what good stories do you have to tell us?
Sam's the man. Me and Sam travel a lot together. So we talk about wrestling and life, and we have a good time together. We'll be teaming together this Sunday in Phoenix, Arizona as well. So I'm really excited about that.
And that's the GCW, right?
Yes. We got a whole weekend loop ahead of us. We'll be in San Diego on Friday, and then Los Angeles Saturday, and Phoenix, Arizona on Sunday.
I got to tell you, I love the look of that Ukrainian Cultural Center that you guys run.
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
I mean, it's classy as hell when you look at that place.
Agreed. I think I finally got to debut at the Ukrainian Cultural Center last year right at the end of December, or maybe in November. But I finally got to wrestle there, and I was super excited about it. So I can't wait to go back.
Well, Minderz, you want to kick off with our usual 2 questions?
Okay. So my first 2 questions have always been, 1, who did you look up to before you became a wrestler as like who you wanted to be like? And 2, how did you get into the business?
I think I've always looked up to guys that were smaller, but in the main event scene. So, early on, Shawn Michaels, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero. And then as I got a little older, I started watching TNA. AJ Styles was a huge one for me. The Hardy Boys as well during that time. And then, right when I was becoming a teenager, Bryan Danielson and CM Punk both burst onto the scene. And so those 2 guys consumed my thoughts. And anytime I was buying merch for anybody, it was going to be for those 2 guys. So definitely guys who just wrestled in the main event scene that maybe were a little undersized, but you didn't even notice it because of the way they wrestled. And then the way I got started into the business is that I started a backyard wrestling, trampoline wrestling YouTube channel. And I had a few videos blow up and make some money on YouTube back before the adpocalypse thing happened. And they started demonetizing all the different things. And I started making enough money to where I was going to buy a ring because we were using a trampoline to wrestle on. And I was going to try to buy a ring, but I was 17 years old. And the person selling the ring was like, I don't feel comfortable selling someone a ring that's underage, but I will train you guys if you guys want legitimate training. So I paid for me and a couple of my buddies to get training, and a guy by the name of Josh Payne down in Alabama helped me get started and introduced me to the Armstrong family as well, who I got to have a bunch of early matches with. Some people may know them as Road Dogs family from DX. And so that kind of got me started, and I started having small shows there. And then I moved to Oklahoma for college. I played college soccer in Oklahoma, and I started wrestling in Oklahoma and Texas and a little bit in Mexico as well. And these things started just escalating from there. So that's kind of how I broke into the business.
Okay. How did you wind up getting involved with AEW?
Before before AEW even started, me and Sammy Guevara would wrestle each other on the indies bunch in Oklahoma and Texas and Mexico. We wrestled multiple places, multiple times. We developed a really good friendship. He was actually trying to grow his YouTube channel, and he reached out to me because I had a big following on YouTube already with my backyard wrestling channel. So that's kind of how we met. I was trying to wrestle more places in Texas, so he would help me get booked in Texas, and I would help him grow his YouTube channel and, you know, deal with tags and thumbnails and ideas and all of those things. So we developed a really good friendship. And so when things shut down during the pandemic and so many wrestlers got stuck in Mexico or Japan or Canada, couldn't make it into the US, and Tony Khan decided he was going to use indie talent to be in the crowd and have matches on Dark, Sammy invited me to come down, and I did 3 matches sparingly. Like I did one in May, one in June, and then maybe another one in August before I got in really tight with QT Marshall, who was booking the extras and started bringing me back every taping. So I was from October on, I was at every taping up until August when I got signed of the following year.
Okay.
So fun. I will say AEW is not exactly our favorite promotion right now just because of booking decisions. So we're just kind of, we're a little tough on Tony Khan. I'll just say it. We're a little tough on Tony Khan.
That's not a bad thing at all. I think people need to be tough on him. I think, you know, with something that is nonstop as professional wrestling, right? No off season. And with something that, you know, you have immediate gratification and immediate feedback from your audience, whether it be through the live crowd or through social media. You get at least a somewhat majority type feeling on the shows, the booking, the top stories. And I think that's good. I think if someone doesn't like something, they should. If I was a pizza shop and I added a new topping to one of my pizzas and everybody was like, hey man, this pizza topping sucks, we don't like it, I wouldn't say, hey, I'm working on the rest. Let it play out. We're letting it sit on it for a little bit. It's going to grow on you. It's like coffee or beer. It's going to grow on the No, fix it. Just give me what I want. That's not a bad problem. Like people, sometimes does it go too far, or is it more, of course you want constructive criticism over everything else, but if you're putting out a product for people to be entertained by, then absolutely you want the immediate feedback. And so, yeah, be hard on when it's bad and talk about the things you do like. So I'll never be mad at anybody. I have no loyalties. I am a free agent. I will sign anywhere and I will criticize anything. You don't have to, you're not going to hurt my feelings talking bad about AEW.
Well, here you go then, because we got a question in our chat. One of our listeners wants to know opinions that you have on Penta's presentation in WWE versus AEW.
I think again, give Penta a year and then ask that question, right? He's the hot new toy right now.
Right.
Of course, if you're comparing his presentation now to with the last time we've seen in AEW, absolutely. WWE's presentation is 10 times better. But Penta got a bunch of great matches. He was a tag team champion. He beat the Young Bucks in a tag team title match on pay-per-view. Like, I won't say, you know, I mean, let him have a 5-year career in WWE, and then you compare the 5 years post and previous. However, am I loving the presentation? Absolutely. Does it feel like the booking cares about him right now? Absolutely. And are they putting him in situations to make him shine and succeed? Absolutely. And that's what you want as a wrestler. So how can you not be happy about that? Especially, it's like, you might have a favorite food dish. I don't know why I'm comparing everything to food tonight, but maybe I'm hungry.
Maybe you're hungry.
Right? And you might eat it all the time. And maybe you throw the leftovers in, and you don't want something cold out of the refrigerator. You gotta heat it up. You gotta microwave. And right now, you know, Penta's always been great. WWE's just heating him up. And like, that's the great thing about it right now, is like, you know, booking and bosses play a huge role. I always say never confuse someone's booking for their actual talent. And I think that needs to be remembered by fans, especially if you want to get into the weeds. If you just watch wrestling to watch and enjoy, great. But if you're going to get into, well, this guy's presentation is this, that, then just remember, if you're going to you're going to fight about it and be tribalistic and all that, remember, never confuse someone's booking for their actual talent.
Well, that's one thing I pride us on. We don't get tribalistic. I mean, if we don't like stuff in WWE, we'll tell you we don't like it. We don't care.
Well, Minderz, the thing you just said about don't let the booking confuse the talent. That's what we were saying about Tozawa 25 minutes ago.
Yes, it was.
Exactly. After the match he had was Gunther last night.
That match.
Yeah, but also you have to take into consideration how much someone is content, how much someone has ambition to do more.
Right.
What are their attitude to it all? Some people show up to work and say, hey, whatever you give me, and whatever you don't, I'll take. And then some people show up to work and they see what they got and they go, no, this doesn't work for me. I don't like this. I feel like I'd be better presented like this, or this match will go here, and some people won't fight for it. Or some people did fight for it early on and got knocked back, or a reality something happened to where they realized, if I want to keep making this money, I might as well just shut up and lose this ambitious side. And so you never know. And then some people kill themselves to get to a big spot to make some money, and then they roll back what they do match-wise. Right. So I think the best wrestlers in the world, no matter what position they're in, find a way to make their stuff compelling and entertaining, regardless of where they're at on the card or where they're at in their career. No matter, even if you're older wrestling, you can't do the flips and such as you used to, can you still have great matches in a different setting or in a different phase of your career? And so I just think you have to try to stay at the top of your game, and when the opportunity arises, to knock it out of the park.
Yeah. Reb, I'm going to put this one up from Clayton. You want to read it?
Yeah.
It's up.
Clayton Clark, the Clydesdale, one of our buddies, says, if it wasn't for KBW, I wouldn't have ever jumped off my camper doing backyard wrestling, which led me to doing independent wrestling. # thank you, Fuego. Thank you, Cage.
Yes, KBW was my backyard wrestling organization. And it got a ton of following earlier. It's crazy. It feels like everywhere I go now, every indie show I go to, someone comes up to me and says, hey man, I used to watch you on KBW, which is a cool feeling. And you never know. Some people maybe only watched 2 or 3 videos that went viral. Some people may have watched the whole crazy story that I come up with in my head that I did for 4 years, So I always just take it with a smile and say, thank you for the support. And, I appreciate people that have watched me, because I think it makes the story better. That's going to be a hell of a documentary one day when they see all this old footage that I have.
There you go.
Doing crazy things.
We got another one. I think one of the first professional matches I have seen of yours was a triple threat, you versus AK-47 versus Airman Banks. Was that your first pro match?
No, so there was a triple threat that was my first pro match. It was me versus AK-47 versus a guy named Dustin Payne. And that is also on the KBW YouTube channel. I didn't put up a ton of my early matches, but I did put up that Airman Banks one, and it some reason went crazy viral too, and did a bunch of views. But that wasn't the first one. I'd had a few more. I was probably almost a year in when that one, or somewhere around that, in my first year when that one was up. But that was not my first. My first one's still on YouTube though. It's same triple threat, but except sub in Dusty Payne versus instead of Airman Banks, I should say.
Gotcha. Reb, I'm going to ask the question because it's one of my favorite questions. All right, when you're in a match, is there any move that you refuse to take?
Oh yeah, Irish whip. Don't whip me off the ropes. What are you doing? No, I'm joking. If I can get out of it, the pinfall, I'd rather not take.
Well, yeah, of course.
No, I don't know. I mean, if you're just in a singles match, it's really limited on what move you can take. Like the scariest bumps to take are bumps on the floor or bumps on the head and neck. But if you know how to spike, I'll take bumps on my head and neck all the time. It's really bumps to the floor, and especially if there's no padding. Padding is different, but it's like the ring is made for bumping in. And so some people just take wild risks where they're doing moves on the floor. It's just I have some bad sciatica nerve pain right now, and I've only been doing this 10 years. So I can just imagine why worsen it, or why do something to hurt your body more, wreck your body more. So maybe just some crazy stuff on the floor, especially if there's no padding. But for the most part, a wrestler gets in the ring to bump. So I'm going to bump when I'm out there, and I'll take the face bumps, the flip bumps, the spike bumps, whatever you call it, you know?
Yeah.
What's crazy is like, you see all this stuff that happens to the floor, but it's almost the simplest stuff that ends up really bad for somebody. And like, just as a for instance, I'll throw an alley catch at Hammerstein.
Yes.
Just did a simple tope to the floor and completely fucked up her leg. And then you see somebody like just doing a moonsault. Like, we watch a lot of VCW for another podcast we do. We have a moonsault counter for Super Crazy, and he'll go up to the highest part of the building and jump off and land on his feet, and nothing wrong with him.
Reb, I knew this was going to come up. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Friend of another independent wrestler, friend of ours, he broke his ankle on a floor bump, so he totally gets it. And it was a simple bump. It was what would have been simple, but
he was catching the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think the simplest. I think, of course, you have some things like you go to Adam Copeland jumping off the cage and breaking his leg, or there's definitely there's like the Dante Martin, Penta gave him the Canadian Destroyer through the ladders, and there's some risks that are unnecessary, but a lot of times it happens on the simplest thing. I hurt my knee one time off an arm drag. I broke my foot. The first time I ever broke a bone in my body was off a drop kick. And so it's like, it's just, I see, Pac, when he wrestled as Neville, the famous Jericho match where he just does a baseball slide under and, he snaps his ankle. It's like, people act like because I do all of these flips and crazy things that I'm so dangerous. That is second nature to me. I can do that in my sleep.
Yeah.
There are like some types of gimmick matches where you have to be smarter and go safer. And there's certain types of risks you should not take, or at least be super calculated about the risk you do take. But I think it's so dumb to be like, oh my God, that's so everything is dangerous. Everything is dangerous. So you got to get that out of your head. You can't be scared to get hurt.
Right.
You should be trying your hardest to do everything safely. You can't be scared to get hurt.
Go for it, Reb.
So I want to circle back because we had Sam on like 2 days after the Hammerstein show, and I want to get your take on it because you were there also. You were in the scramble match, if I remember right, at the top of the show. So just talk a little bit about just the atmosphere in there with the fans and just being in that building.
I mean, that building just has so much history, and I just remember falling in love with ECW One Night Stand in 2005, and I was just thinking it was the coolest thing ever. And I was so young when the first bit of ECW came out, but I remember being so enamored by that first ECW One Night Stand that I asked my parents for the Rise and Fall of ECW DVD so I could just go back and watch so much of that. So and then I was so just to be in that building and to be in that building with the Jury and Super Crazy there, and Sabu came out and made an appearance. And it's just like, I think the coolest part of becoming a pro wrestler is becoming friends with your idols, or becoming, colleagues, and earning the respect of people you looked up to or watching growing up. And so that was I remember walking into the building and just sitting down and looking up at everything and just being so enamored and grateful just to be in the building. And then to get to the actual match was awesome. And I feel like the only thing that could have made it better is that we were the first pre-show match, so everybody hadn't even fully filled into the building yet. So just to feel that atmosphere and how hot it was without everybody there, I just wish we were a little later on so I could have really felt it. I walked out later during the first match of the ladder match when it was finally packed in, and I was just like, oh man, this is incredible. I wish I could have done that as well. But the match was awesome, and I was in there with just 5 of some of the best wrestlers in the world, and so everything just went off without a hitch, and it was so fun, and I enjoyed myself so much. It was definitely a bucket list moment, something I could check off the old resume. That's something I've always wanted to do.
That was a 12-hour drive after that one?
More than that. That was, we drove back from Philly to Oklahoma. I want to say it was about 16 hours.
16? Ugh.
Maybe even more than, but that's the thing about me and Sam. It's just we're not at least last year, we weren't GCW regulars, and we knew we both wanted to become GCW regulars. And so what we had to do was, if everybody is itching to get on these shows, they're not going to fly everyone there. It's just the people that they know are the part of their crew. And so we slowly earned our spots in GCW this past year. And part of that was driving to show, hey, this is how bad we want it. This is how much we want to be a part of this. We don't want to just use GCW. We don't want to just use it as a stepping stone or platform to go other places. We want to be a part of this movement, a part of the top indie company in the world. And so we would make these drives to save the GCW money on flights and to show how much we wanted it. And so lately we've been getting flown more, but even this weekend, we're going to do that. We're going to make a 20-hour trip to San Diego driving. And, but me and Sam listen to the same music. We watch the same shows and listen to the same podcast, and we both don't shut up. So a 20-hour trip feels like 10 hours to us. It doesn't feel like it's half the time. Plus, we sleep. Sometimes we'll just make a deal. I'll do 5 hours. You do 5 hours. And you can sleep if you need to sleep, and I'll sleep if I need to sleep. And if we sleep for half that time, it really does feel like 10 hours because we slept for half of it. So.
Right.
Yeah, it's not. Some people think of a 20-hour drive and just think it's the hardest thing to do in the world. But for us, it's really easy at this point.
Yeah. Can understand that. Reb, keep it going. Yep. This is on you, bud.
Okay. So you said you're teaming with Sam on Friday in San Diego.
On Sunday, yes.
Sunday.
On Sunday.
In Phoenix. In Arizona.
Okay, I'm getting all my details
Rep,
mixed
listen.
up. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Who are you teaming up against? Do you know?
Yes, we're going against the Koger brothers, Atticus and Otis Koger. Crazy set of brothers there. You know, we haven't interacted with either of those guys. So it's going to be a first-time matchup. I've already prepared Sam. We've already been strategizing. Yeah, I got 2 singles matches in the 2 days before that, but like that, I got Titus Alexander on the first night. My second night match hasn't been announced yet, and then on the third night, it's me and Stackhouse versus the Koger brothers. That just got announced yesterday, so I'm very much excited for that and looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I like that Titus Alexander too.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that match. I think he's one of the best upcoming young talents in the world. So I would love to wrestle him.
Yeah. Is there anybody on your list that you haven't wrestled yet that you want to try to make happen?
Speedball Mike Bailey. He's joined AEW, but I need that match. He's number one. I think he's top 5 best wrestler in the world right now. And that's the closest one that I can actually get. I feel like even though he's signed, I can still convince him to do a show with me.
He still makes the indie shots, doesn't he?
I mean, since the year started, he has done no indies. So,
oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. He would have definitely been on that Hammerstein show for sure.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, the match he had with Takeshita for Maple Leaf Pros, just a total barn burner.
I've watched it about 7 times. I can't even lie to you. I studied that match because the way they had the back half of that match is so crazy and good, and the way it's structured is so like me and Speedball have deep conversations about just everything about pro wrestling, and so he's become like a mentor as well as a colleague, and so I definitely want to have that match. That's very number one for sure.
Reb, I'm sending you the card because I just saw the card for Phoenix.
Okay.
I think you're going to like it. So I just sent it to you. And I think we ought to run through a couple of those because I see some of your favorite guys on there. Other than
I've been able to do some commentary a lot lately in GCW, which it's been fun to flex my commentary muscles. So I always love watching these shows just as much as I love being a part of them.
All right. So who are some of your favorite commentators?
Ever of all time?
Yeah, ever of all time.
Ooh, I think there's different eras of different, great commentators. Okay. I've been like on a Memphis wrestling kick, and like Lance Russell's phenomenal. Right. And then there's just great duos. Yes. Then there's just great duos. Soley and Heenan are phenomenal. The GOATs, Jerry and Jim Ross during the Attitude Era. It's just, there's nothing like Jim when he's fired up and emotional about pro wrestling. Mike Tenay and Don West, TNA, phenomenal. Love that
Don West just
so much.
Cracks me up. He gets so excited.
Absolutely. And then go ahead.
Jim Ross in Mid-South, if you want to really hear him get fired up. Actually, I'll finish. UWF, like the tail end of Mid-South, when the Russians covered Bill Watts with a Russian flag. If you want to hear fired up Jim Ross, that's where you got to go.
Hell yeah.
I was always I like Jim Ross and Paulie.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just a short-lived duo, but definitely they were fun, especially during that invasion angle, man. So good, so good.
Who's your favorite right now?
My favorite,
other than
right
you,
now.
of course. Other than you,
of course. My favorite right now. I love Ian Riccaboni right now the most. I
Brad,
think
he's a man after our own hearts.
Ian is the best. Ian is the best. Him and Caprice are great on Ring of Honor. I think the key components of being a great commentator is that you go out of your way to put over the talent instead of putting them down. Mm-hmm. You're helping the baby faces and you're admonishing the heels. And you have a genuine enthusiasm about calling pro wrestling. And you can feel that Ian loves what he's doing when he's doing it. Him and Caprice are having a good time. I love Nigel McGuinness as well. And like I do like Excalibur, but I had been on so many AEW dark shows, and him and Taz have to call 1,000 matches early in the morning sometimes. And so I know they just heart is not in it at times. It's just disingenuous. And I think I've soured because like PWG era Excalibur is like my favorite. I
agree with.
I just have soured on Excalibur because there was matches sometimes where I'm like, help me out here, commentary, and they're just talking about some totally different things. They're not even worried about my match that's going on in the ring right now. And it's like, I think I have some personal bias against it. So
I'll throw one out there. I'll throw one out there 2 minutes. Dave Prazak and Lenny Leonard from Ring of Honor in the mid-2000s.
That's one of my favorite things is having matches being called by Dave Prazak on a regular basis.
Man,
Dave's so the man. Good. I used to go back and watch the IWA Mid-South tournaments and Ted Petty's and early Ring of Honor. I was just watching some early Ring of Honor of Danielson and Nigel, and Prazak's on the call, killing it. So Dave is the man. I haven't got to call a match with Dave yet, and that's what I want to do next. I want to, be color while he's play-by-play.
There you go.
Those Ted Petty's are what really got me into indie wrestling. Also, especially the one from 2004. I think that's the most stacked one they had.
I just watched it for the first time. The first 2004 Ted Petty is crazy.
But people say a lot of stuff about Ian Rotten and IWA, but those. When he booked those technical tournaments, it was just great stuff,
I mean, if we're gonna talk about bad promoters, I mean Vince McMahon is like you can't separate the art from the artist at this point, guys.
You're right.
Yeah. All you had to say is IWA's early days are great.
I did learn a lesson not to mention IWA in front of Jim Cornette once.
Well,
I don't know if I want to
he let it slide.
But I like you'd have any type of thing to say.
Reb,
yes.
You and opening your mouth with Tank. Open mouth, insert foot when we had Tank on a couple weeks ago, or month or so ago.
Oh well, it wasn't me trying to do gotcha journalism, but it was just something I was curious about. But he was cool with it. He didn't.
Yeah, he didn't get too upset with us.
No. I did learn not to make fun of Giant Gonzalez to Bill Alfonso, though, because I didn't realize that they were buddies. But again, water under the bridge.
I think you could take him, so I think you'll be okay.
I watched Fonzie get punched in the face a couple times on some of these ECW episodes.
The match with Bueller is insane.
Oh, man.
We've had Fonzie on our show a couple times. He's been on twice, so he's one of our buddies. He was the first the first guest
interview we ever did on this show was Bill Alfonso.
Hell yeah.
All right, so I got some of these matches loaded up for Sunday. Let's run through those here. We got okay. I'm very curious about Los Desperados and Microman as a tag team.
They're not. It says Los Desperados versus Microman.
I gotta get my glasses fixed. Los Desperados.
You gotta check that vision out.
And I keep forgetting that Jack Cartwheel is a member of Los Desperados now.
Kind of. Yeah, in GCW, yes.
Like an associate member, kind of.
Yes, absolutely.
But Microman, Bismarck Negro Jr., Ray Horus, and I gotta say, I love me some Microman. He is so fun to watch.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best. I haven't got to work with him, but I am dying to see, and it might happen very soon. Sam Stackhouse versus Micro Man.
We were down for it.
Very much looking forward to that.
Didn't they have an interaction at the Rumble with the Hammerstein?
Did they?
I want to say they did, but I don't think Sam got the moonsault on him.
But, I definitely don't think that happened.
Yeah, I don't think that happened.
But they bring
that would have been a viral clip.
Yeah.
Even though he has moonsaulted a little person before, but
yeah.
We'll say
but yeah, I saw Gringo
He's been teaming with a little person lately. NWA.
Yes, Smalls and NWA. I'm very happy about that. How do you not like that duo, huh?
Right.
All right, let's run through it real quick, Reb, because I'm not sure. I don't want to keep our guests too terribly long. So.
Oh yeah, I got you. Okay, so like I said, yeah.
There's your Gringo Loco.
Gringo's been on a couple times, so yeah, we're big fans of his also.
Yeah, I just wrestled him in Toronto. I wrestled him and Arez in Toronto last week, so I know exactly firsthand how good the Desperados are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, this one has me very curious because they're two of my favorite guys, but I don't think you could get a more different matchup here, which is Zack Sabre Jr. against Mance Warner.
That'll be a curtain sellout for me because I need to see what these two maniacs. They're the biggest clash of styles I've ever seen.
Oh, I know.
I saw that too. I was like, "Oh wow, that's different."
The only bigger styles clash I think would be Sabre Jr. against Nick Gage.
Yes, I agree.
All right. Next up here, we've got Dr. Redacted and Cyclope.
I hope I'm before them because that ring is going to be filled with light tubes if I had to bet money on this.
Oh.
Glass and table shards will be in the ring for that one.
Is there any time you get to suggest when you get to go on so you can not have to worry about that type of stuff?
I have only really had to go after a death match once, and it was the worst. It was so bad. And I will make sure I'm not doing that ever again.
All right.
And you wonder why I hate light tubes, Reb, and you wonder why I hate light tubes. I'm not a death match girl. No. Yeah, I'm more the technical.
I'm not a death match guy.
Yeah, see? I don't blame you.
All right. Next up here, speaking of death match, Drew Parker taking on Masha Slamovich for the JCW World Championship.
That'll be really good. I've wrestled Drew, and he's more than just a death match guy. We wrestled a match in Kentucky, which was really good. So I can't wait to see what him and Masha do. I would love to wrestle Masha as well. I haven't done that yet.
I think didn't Drew retire from deathmatch wrestling recently?
Did he do it? Did he retire? I don't know.
He did, but
he's wrestling Arez this Friday night, and I bet they do some stuff.
And I know he wrestled Tank not too long ago, so yeah, maybe that was the plan, but plans changed.
At Hammerstein, that pretty much was a death match. That ladder match was a death match.
I hate ladder matches.
Right.
You were talking about falling where there's no padding. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite indie wrestlers decided to take a 28-foot fall off of a ladder through 2 tables on the concrete floor
in front of 30 people.
No, it was more than 30 people.
Listen. My best friend Sam Stackhouse has done some real stupid shit in front of nobody. So I will admonish my friends just as much as I will admonish people doing dumb things like that.
And I'm not sure how he didn't do it, but he didn't break his tailbone.
Jeez.
But he had a bruise.
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug.
He had a bruise all the way up half of his back, up to his shoulder blades. I'm like, you crazy, dude. Crazy. All right, Reb, keep going.
All right, next up here, we've got the World Championship, Effie defending against Super Crazy.
What a match. That's the classic styles as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see what they drum up.
Fuego, if you actually watch this match, do me a favor. We need you to keep a super crazy moonsault count.
Well, at least he's going to hit those 3 out of the corner. If I had to bet,
it's going to be at least 4.
Well,
I say at least 4.
2 of the 3 out of the corner, because it's usually on the third one.
2 of the 3 out of the corner. Yep.
Or it gets cut off.
Right.
we have a super crazy moonsault counter, and we have a Tajiri moonsault counter. So.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, I'm going to throw this out there, Minderz. Fuego, you shared a locker room with Little Guido at the Hammerstein. we have to ask, because this is a running commentary on our ECW pod. How big are his feet?
I've never paid attention to little. I'm sorry to let you know that I've never paid attention to little.
No, it's fine.
It's an ongoing joke. With him having the red shoes in ECW, they look huge. So we're trying to figure out how big his feet are. But
is that an Italian thing? I wonder.
Maybe. Who knows? That's not all the matches, is it, Red? Did you have all the matches?
There's one more, but I can't get to my mouse because somebody has paid me a visit.
The cat took it?
Well, no, she didn't take it. She's standing right over it. All right, here we go. Okay, well, here we go. Fuego and Sam against the Kogars. And I've seen a lot more of Atticus than I've seen of Otis.
Same.
Full disclosure.
From what I have seen is only crazy shit. So
yeah,
I'm tagging Sam in.
There you go. let Sam take care of it.
There you go.
Reb, there's one more. Did you not get Sandra? Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, I got it.
Okay.
I got one. I got them. That's the last one I got.
Okay.
Sandra Moon.
Brooke Havoc, Sandra Moon. Hell yeah. Brooke's great. Brooke's gonna be signed sooner than later. Just letting
she's impressed the hell out of me when I've seen her.
She's great. She's phenomenal. She was training at the Nightmare Factory. I was there a few times early on when I was doing stuff with Cody in the vlog, so I got to see firsthand how far she's come and how much work she's put in. So yeah, she's phenomenal.
Awesome.
Do you keep up with WWE? Like, I know
I watch it every week.
Watch it every week?
I watch everything. I hate wrestlers that don't watch everything. You got to watch everything. What are we doing here?
So I want your opinion on some of the new guys that are coming up. Let's say the NXT guys. Is there anybody that's caught your eye that you've been watching?
Well, I mean, how can you not love Javon Evans? I wrestled him on an AEW Dark match before he got signed. So I knew I got to witness firsthand. And
he bouncy.
He bouncy indeed.
He bouncy
indeed.
He takes a hell of a punch from Ethan Page.
Oh yeah. And I got to wrestle Ethan Page multiple times. So much love for Ethan Page.
You wrestled the North in Impact.
Yes, I did in Impact years and years ago. That was the first time I got to wrestle them. They're phenomenal. What do you think of Oba? He's a superstar. See, I mean, he's gonna be a world champion. So yeah, he's destined for greatness. That guy is. He's insane.
As long as he doesn't screw it up in his personal life, we should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, that you can say that about every wrestler.
Right? Oh, I know. Believe me,
Oba still has my favorite one-liner in a promo when he says, "Send whoever you want, but don't send anyone you don't want back." I was like,
Hell
"Yes,
yeah.
sir."
Hell yeah.
Now he's got Moose.
Oba's phenomenal. Yeah, Moose actually lives in Oklahoma right now as well, so we see him pretty often. Yeah, he lives in Oklahoma City. His wife has a job here, so I say we run into Moose more than you would think. And the TNA partnership is great. Just gives guys more time and things to do, and so there's just so many avenues now to succeed, which is great to see.
Yeah,
really great. I love Charlie Dempsey as well. I mean, I'm a Regal Mark.
Oh yeah.
So Charlie is killing it down there as well. And then Ren Sinclair, who I use on the road with a ton. I did a bunch of stuff with. She's phenomenal. Just the whole women's division. If I was women on the main roster, I'd be worried to death about the jobs that are coming because all of these girls in NXT are killing it and are so good. So I can't wait to see that next wave kind of move up.
That just answered my question. So I was going to ask him who he thought had the best women's division across
NXT
the board.
by far. And that's not and take away the transplants. Take away Julia and Stephanie Vacker and Zara, all the people that came in recently. Take them away. If you're just going off of Roxanne, Cora, Lola, Soul, like all of these ground up people that were unknown before they made it to NXT, they're killing it just in that department alone. Like if you go back last year and watch that ladder match, where it was just a bunch of women that you'd never even really seen before. There was not a lot of veteran women in that match. And so how good and how creative and how hard they went. I was like, man, I can't wait to see all these people kind of move up.
Jada Parker and Lola Vice have both been two of the ones that I've taken a liking to. I like them a lot.
Hell yeah.
But yeah.
I'm a little worried about Roxanne in that chamber because she's going to get thrown around a little bit. But
I watched that girl since she was 16 years old. I was on shows with her in Laredo in like 2017, 2018.
Okay.
Like I was on a ton of early shows with her in Southern Texas. And I've seen just how good and how much she cares about life. So cares about wrestling. So I just can't. I'm excited to see how high she can get to. Like there's no limit, it feels like, for what she could do. So
did Roxanne work Mission Pro for Thunder Rosa also?
I don't know if she worked Mission. She definitely worked Sabotage, which was Rosa's former promotion before she started Mission. Reality of Wrestling for Booker T, right. RCW in San Antonio. There was a bunch of them she done early down there.
Yeah, I agree. NXT's got the best women's division. TNA isn't too far behind either.
I agree. I agree as well.
Which makes that crossover so much more
fun,
intriguing to me, because you get all these fresh matchups that I'm looking for, like Masha and Cora, just for starters. So
there's so many. You can just see how it helped Naomi before she came back. And how the quality of matches. You see Jordan Grace now jump over and see how good she is. It's just like business is booming right now all around.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I get really excited whenever we talk about Jordan Grace, just for the simple fact that I saw her in Independent before she hit it big, and she beat up on one of the guys that I love to hate here. So it was fun to watch her. It's fun to keep an eye on.
It's always cool to see people make it. To see people from their early stages to move on up.
Yeah,
and that's why you have a special place in your heart for those type of people, because, like I said, there's so many guys that I got to wrestle with or wrestle around that then goes on to get signed by AEW or a WWE, and it's really cool. It's really cool.
What is it? Like Marco Stunt, Bari and AJ saw him too. We're one of our locals is 01.
Oh hell yeah!
So we saw some of the guys.
Warhorse, yes, AEW at one point.
Yeah, Warhorse, Camaro Jackson, all those guys. So
your personal favorite, Joey O'Reilly.
Archer threw him like a lawn dart. It was great.
Me, Joey, and Marco actually had a triple threat match in Missouri a couple years ago. So that was
really
yes.
Huh. I have to give him crap about it.
There's a couple of TikToks online about it, I think. At least on my page, you can go see me and Marco teaming up on him. Yeah.
Good.
Minderz gives Joey a lot of crap, but he's a hell of a wrestler, though.
I do. I give him a lot of crap. Well, they don't call me the official pot stirrer for nothing. So, Reb, this has been so much fun. We're gonna get Fuego back on.
Absolutely.
Maybe we get Fuego and Sam at the same time.
That would be a fun one.
That would be awesome.
Fun indeed.
Fuego, you got GCW this weekend. Where else are you going to be wrestling at here and coming up? So
I'll be in Kansas City on March 14th. I will be back at GCW on March 15th and 16th in Atlantic City. I will be in Houston on March 27th. Where else will I be? I'll be in Montana on March 22nd for Flashback Pro Wrestling. I'll be in Colorado for BPW on March 29th. And then I got GCW again on March 30th. And then we got Milwaukee, Wisconsin on April 6th. And then big one is Mania weekend. I got 5 bookings so far lined up for that. So that's everything leading up to Mania weekend for sure.
That's going to be so fun in Vegas.
So in Milwaukee, are you wrestling for Dysfunction's company?
I'm wrestling for We Love Wrestling. I want to say it's called. It's WLW is what it's called. It's a newer one, I believe.
Well, I'll be curious if Zach Hendricks is on that show, Minderz.
Yeah, Zach Hendricks there. That's one of our buddies, too.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We've made a lot of friends.
And Montana is going to be a hell of a drive for you. So.
Oh, no, that's a flight. That's a flight.
Okay.
That's a flight. Most of these are flights. It's very rare. Unless Sam's on the show, we'll drive together. But most of these are flights.
Okay. I got you. Well, Fuego, thank you very much for doing this with us.
Brad, make sure you hit all the socials.
Yes.
Fuego del Sol on Twitter /X, Fuego del Sol _ on TikTok and Instagram. You can follow my Facebook page at Fuego del Sol. Check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Fuego del Sol. I stream games and watch wrestling and stuff there. And then I also have a YouTube channel as well, Fuego del Sol vids that you can check out.
Okay, awesome. One last question. Which one is your favorite Funko Pop that you have?
Oh my God.
Put him on the spot, why don't you?
I know. I have 6 right here. Like I got a bunch of big ball back here, but these are like my top 6. It kind of like shows how diverse my interests are. I got Eddie and Ray up top, Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio up here. I got Alexander Hamilton, which is Lin-Manuel Miranda's Alexander Hamilton from the play Hamilton.
Yep.
I have Rose from the Golden Girls because I love that show as well. I have Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
I got Adrenaline in My Soul with Cody Rhodes right here on bottom, and then I have Big Al, the mascot for Alabama, because I'm from Alabama, huge Alabama Crimson Tide fan. Absolutely, Roll Tide indeed. Yep. Roll Tide indeed. So those are like the top 6. I got a DX one back there too, both Sean and Triple H as well that I love, and a ton of I don't even have all of my Game of Thrones ones right here too, but I got a Jon Snow back there that I'm real fond of as well.
I'm glad that came up, Minderz, before AJ was live with us, because he would just be blowing up Fuego.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm just thinking, because I've got my NWO, I've got my Rhea Ripley, I've got my Undertaker and Paul Bear. I'm a happy camper. I got my Funkos that I love.
I got Dusty and the NWO, and that's about it.
Hell yeah.
But then I got my Heavenly Bodies, though. So
yeah, he does have the Heavenly Bodies.
You start collecting things and it just never stops. I feel like I finally put a halt on my collection, and now if I get any more, it's because fans send them to me. I have a PO box where fans can send me stuff. So
gotcha.
That's the only time I open it up.
I got my Jim Cornette Legends.
Hell yeah, I got a Jerry Lynn Legends back there on the wall too, signed by Jerry. So that's cool.
All right, Fuego, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a blast. We're gonna have to get you back on soon.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Yep. Man, we kept him a lot longer than I thought we were going to.
Yeah, it was about 45 minutes. That's about where we usually do. He was a lot of fun. He was awesome.
But I don't think we've really scratched the surface.
No, we didn't. I think that's why we need to get him with Sam together.
We'll just sit back and let them talk wrestling, and we'll just... We'll throw in our 2 cents.
See if we can get him to call in from like a road trip, like they're in the
truck. That'd be fun.
Hey, Minderz, let's pay some bills real quick, and then we'll get it into our next little piece of business.
Let's do that.
All right, we are back. So, I think I'm going to give you. I'm going to let you pick. Are we talking about Raw? Or you want to talk about the Chamber?
Raw, because we need to talk about Raw in order to get to the Chamber. So
yes. All right. So I actually kept track of who won what here last night. So I've got it in front of me.
I'm proud of you because there's no way. Well, I might have. You told me what the matches were.
True.
Have the matches ready for tomorrow night too, because I don't know if I can remember off the top of my head, but if I see who it is, I can tell you who won.
Oh, from the 01 show? Yeah. I got them still on there, I think. If not, I can find it.
We just got to remember we got to switch a couple around.
Yeah. So the show starts off with Logan Paul and CM Punk face to face in there.
Okay, I'm gonna say what I sent you. And that's what I think CM Punk was saying everything to Logan Paul that he wanted to say to Jungle Jack off. I'm just saying. Because he's like, you're just a flash in the pan. You aren't going to last. Well, I was like, I have a feeling this wasn't actually meant for Logan Paul, but...
That's what the psychiatric community calls a breakthrough.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think he meant this for Logan Paul, but I'll take it.
Whatever makes the pennies. All right. I got to call this an upset, Minderz. Ludwig Kaiser beat Penta and Pete Dunne in a 3-way, and I love it. I like that Ludwig Kaiser.
I'm bummed about Penta getting his first loss, though.
But German Trust got the win.
I know. Yeah, why should I be happy about that? It's German Trust. That's not an improvement. I'm sorry.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I give that match a 9. Sorry.
-9.
The New
it was
Day.
a good match. I will say that. I was very pleased.
The New Day against the LWO, and Joaquin Wilde, the former Zima Ion, he's another one of those in that Tozawa category where you look at the gimmick so much you forget just how good he is.
Right. He's really good.
This was one of the better showings that Wilde and Del Toro have had as a tag team on the main roster.
They didn't get lost. Like, sometimes I feel like they get lost in, like, what they're doing and they forget where they're at. And sometimes when I watch, but I felt like this was really well done.
Yeah. And the New Day's really kind of clicking as that heel tag team.
Everybody hates them.
Everybody hates them. Yeah. Even the promo they cut later on during the commercial break, they were getting people to hate them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Minderz, we kind of talked about this one because Tozawa is your hoot, but Gunther versus Tozawa.
I was really curious as to who he was going to bring out, and then when he said that, I was like, you know what? This may not be a bad match.
I had a feeling it was Tozawa because if you remember the beginning of the show when Gunther was walking into the building, he looked over and saw them doing their TikToks.
See, I missed that part.
Okay, but he was kind of giving the eye to Tozawa. Yeah. Then of course, he plays out Otis, and we get Jay come in and make the save to keep the intrigue going for Mania.
He didn't even say anything. He just went.
He didn't say anything until he kicked Grayson Waller in the face.
Yeah, that was fun.
Which was funny. Also, Theory yeeting out of reflex was kind of funny.
Yes.
All right. Lyra Valkyria retained her Intercontinental title over Dakota Kai, then got the crap kicked out of her by Ivy Nile.
I'm okay with Ivy coming out. I kind of want Ivy to win. I really want Ivy.
I got a feeling that's where they're going.
I hope so.
I tell you, Lyra is damn good in the ring, but I've said it like she's missing something.
She's missing something.
I mean, she seems lovely. She seems like a very nice girl. Great athlete.
I think she's this generation's Mia Yim.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
There's just something missing. And maybe people will argue with me about Mia Yim, but I think she was a lot better in a lot of the other promotions that she's been in.
As opposed to TNA how she specifically.
Exactly. And then to see her come up here, and it's like she's just missing something, and I don't know what it is.
But they tried to put her with the Bullet Club, and that didn't quite work. No. Lord knows Retribution didn't work.
Oh, good Lord. You know what? That one could have worked if they booked it different. Damn Vince.
I think they should have had them. They should have revealed Adam Pearce as the leader.
I've been okay with that.
But that's a long time under the bridge.
Yep.
Maybe my favorite match that wasn't the main event was Braun Breaker and Dom Mysterio.
I did love that match.
Seems like they're building to Finn and Braun, maybe.
Hey, I even messaged you and I said, Finn and Braun?
I'm down with it.
Okay with it.
I'm definitely down with that.
I'm down with it.
Mm-hmm. Then we get the Cody-Seth interaction where Seth won my Hoot of the Week.
Right.
Strong promo from Seth.
Mm-hmm.
Then,
I liked how he kept going back to, look at what I did for you, and this is what you're going to do. And
yeah.
Yep. I'm still curious where that favor is going to come in, though, with Punk. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's going to be later. I don't think it's going to be WrestleMania.
I don't think it'll be WrestleMania, but I think the smart thing they're doing is they're putting it in their pocket and not mentioning it.
Mm-hmm.
So when it does come out, then boom, it's going to
be like, oh shit, yeah, we forgot about this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think we said everything we need to say about the main event during the Hoots and Judy segment. Fantastic match, and just
okay, Dwayne's listening, so go ahead, tell your whole story about what's going to happen now.
Okay, step 1. Liv and Raquel pin Naomi to win the tag team championships.
Check.
All right, step 2. On Saturday at the Elimination Chamber match, it comes down to the final 3 of Bianca, Liv, and Naomi. Liv gets eliminated, and then it comes down to Bianca and Naomi. Bianca beats Naomi. Then
I'm going to throw a small little
go ahead
twerk in there.
Okay.
Liv gets eliminated, but doesn't get out and causes Bianca to lose.
No, Bianca wins.
And causes Naomi to win.
No, I think it's got to be clean. I think Bianca's got to pin Naomi straight up.
Okay.
Because then that leads to step 3, and it won't be the night after Chamber, but like the week after. Bianca and Naomi get their rematch against Liv and Raquel. And one of 2 things happens. Number 1, Naomi just leaves Bianca high and dry, turns heel on.
Because she beat her at Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm. Or 2, Jade comes out and just pounds the piss out of Naomi, revealing that she's the one that jumped her in the back. Which still leaves Bianca open to Rhea, and then we get Naomi and Jade at Mania.
Yep.
I've put some of this on my whiteboard here, Minderz.
No. Hey, you've cleaned it up.
I cleaned it up a little bit. It's a little clearer to me now.
It is. So, it's a lot clearer to me now.
The 2 things we definitely know is Jay and Gunther, Charlotte and Tiffany.
Right.
It seems like they're going to. I put Drew on here just to be The Rock's champion.
Okay.
Maybe Drew wins the chamber match, and then when Cody turns down Rock, Drew jumps him and reveals that he's the guy that Rock's putting his.
You're really trying for that Hendry Cena match, aren't you?
I really am. Sounds like we're coming close to Fatu and Solo.
Yep.
Potentially, Seth and Roman. I will die on my sword on this. It has to be a 1-on-1. I do not want it to be a 3-way.
Because I wanted when they were going to add to Punk. It. Punk.
But Punk.
No, I think it's going to be Punk and Paul.
Especially after last night, I think we're getting closer and closer. I think Punk eliminates Logan from the chamber, but Logan knocks him out before he leaves.
Yep.
And then takes away his WrestleMania dream, and that gets him to Punk.
Yep.
I think we get Rhea against Bianca. I think Bianca wins the chamber match. And then, again, Jade and Naomi. Braun and Finn, we mentioned. And then, of course, Joe Hendry and John Cena for the TNA Championship.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with 2 matches.
The only other thing I could think is if it's not Hina, if it's not Hendry and Cena, then it would be Cena in place of Drew as the Rock's champion.
And then I think Drew and Damian will happen.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling we're going to get Drew Damian more of a
grudge match.
More of a setup to that though in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, they'll build to that more. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll be 1 and 2.
Well, don't forget we still got Shinsuke.
He's not in the chamber.
I know he's not, but I'm thinking of matches at Mania.
Oh, if they do,
all the belts shouldn't all the belts be defended?
They should. They absolutely should. And if they do, I think it'll be LA Knight getting a rematch.
Or will it be a triple threat?
Or it could be a triple threat. Either way, LA Knight's got to get on the card so the crowd can react.
So the crowd can go, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or dummy.
Dummy, yeah. Yeah. Dummy, yeah. Yeah. Dummy, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I got both of them on there. That's awesome. Okay.
Well, okay, so let's move on to Elimination Chamber, Minderz. We'll make.
Do we have 4 matches? Is there only 4 matches?
4 matches and the Cody Rock interaction, or what they've announced so far. I don't know if they're going to announce anything else on SmackDown, but
that'd be kind of a last minute thing. It'd
be a last minute thing, but
that's not typical.
No, that is atypical.
Uh-huh.
So anyway,
at least with WWE, they usually give you a couple weeks.
Yeah, usually they got to have time to make the graphic and promote the show, like
exactly.
In the wrap up. All right. So anyway, I'll save the chamber matches for last here. Wait, I think I got. Oh, damn it! I wrote this wrong. I got one of the entrants wrong in the women's match. So let me change that real quick while we're talking. But Tiffany and Trish Stratus against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
Sorry, hold on. Just got home, showered, and turned on the podcast, and immediately got my ears blown out with "Yeah, dummy, yeah."
Sorry, AJ.
Sorry, AJ.
Hey, he missed Fuego talking about his Game of Thrones pop figures.
Yeah, I know. He'll have to go back and listen. He will. He'll like Fuego.
Oh yeah, that was a fun talk.
It was.
All right, Tiffany and Trish Stratus, Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
You got to send people home happy. It's going to be Tiffy and Trish, I think. I think that's the one you got to send them home happy.
It's Trish in Canada. I think Candice is the natural fall gal in this one.
Yep.
Because, I mean, you can't really advance Nia and Tiffany because Tiffany's getting Charlotte, so they're not going to be able to push it to Mania.
Right.
Unless they try to shoehorn Nia into the title match, which is a really
no,
big shoehorn.
No. Please, no.
So, I agree. I think Tiffany and Trish are going to take this one.
Send people home happy because I'm not sure you're going to send them home happy with some of the other things.
Yeah. All right. Unsanctioned match. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Is this where we get Randy Orton back?
Maybe. I don't know though.
Not even necessarily during the match. Maybe after. I think Kevin wins this.
I think Kevin has to win this.
I think so, but I think after Kevin wins, I think he gets an RKO out of nowhere from Randy.
All right, let's do it. I like it.
Book it.
Book it.
All right.
H, we know you're listening. Book it.
Yeah, well, of course. Shoot, he's been taking my ideas.
I know.
All right. Women's Elimination Chamber match. Bianca Belair versus Naomi versus Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss versus Bayley versus Roxanne Perez. I already told you my pick on this one.
You know what? Just to be different, although I love your idea.
Thank you.
I'm going to go with Alexa.
I do like Alexa.
I'm going to go with Alexa. I don't think Liv needs it. Liv doesn't need it.
Does Alexa get an assist from the Wyatts?
I don't know.
Is Raquel at ringside for Liv?
I doubt it. I don't think she will be. Wait. Oh, no, she's not in it, is she?
No, she's not in it. She lost to Roxanne.
That's right. I don't think so.
Okay.
You know what, though? That's another one that I wouldn't mind see. She can't win it, though, this soon. She can't go to...
Who, Roxy?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be definitely a shocker.
It would be. You could still kind of do everything that you're talking about.
Yeah. Assuming Bianca eliminates Naomi.
You know what? I'm going to switch... I don't know. I'll stick with Alexa.
Okay. All right. Then men's chamber match. John Cena versus CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest versus Logan Paul.
I think it's Cena.
I think you're right. And I kind of... Do you think The Rock would position his segment to be the main event? Or do you think that would be earlier in the show?
No, I think... He thinks he's something special, and I agree that he is. But he's really starting to get my last freaking nerve.
As he's supposed to. He's a heel.
I know, but he's starting to get Brian last heat with me.
What's your heat with Brian last?
No. Like Brian last Rock heat.
About how The Rock kicked Brian's dog in a past life.
Yes.
Is it AJ Jey Uso heat?
Yes. It's getting there.
Heat.
It's getting there. It's not, okay, maybe not Jay heat. Cardona heat, yeah.
Is it Lander heat?
Lander heat. There you go. It's Lander heat. Or Joey heat. You could go with either one of those.
It's not even BA heat, because you like BA.
I do not like BA. He was a little punk, didn't show up this weekend. I didn't get to make fun of him.
Oh, I'm sorry. But I would like to imagine that, because Toronto's kind of bizarro world anyway, so you don't know that they're going to cheer Cena.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't.
So it would make sense to me then and I know Cena heel turn on his last year is a really big long shot, but if they were going to do it, this would be the right way to do it. To have Cena sell his soul to The Rock to get the title.
But if you think about it, a lot of people still want Cena heel.
That's true. And
if Rock's attached to it,
it's automatic heat.
I think it'll work.
And remember Cena's press conference after the Rumble when he kept using words like best for business and all that kind of stuff. He never said that before.
No, he didn't. It was all hustle, loyalty, and respect.
Right. And now he's talking about business. I have to do this. He was making very selfish comments in that press conference.
Mm-hmm. So maybe we are. Maybe? I'm kind of hoping.
It'd be a nice change of pace.
Well, and here's the thing. It's kind of like Rock and Steve Austin. Even if he's healed, they're all still going to love him.
Cena and The Rock are both big Hollywood stars. Any chance we could get Marvin to be their manager?
Oh, good God. I don't know. How far do you think they can lawn dart him?
I don't know. Cena's not as big as he used to be. Rock is. But anyway, I was being facetious, of course.
I still want to see Rhino gore him. I'm paying good money to see Rhino gore Marvin.
I want to see if Spencer Powers could hire Rhino to jump in.
No, because then that's Devontae. No.
I just want to see a matchup between Rhino and Theo.
Fine.
I like my house fights.
I know you like your house fights, but I don't want Devontae to take a gore.
The main thing I want to see Marvin take a gore.
I do too. I so want to see Marvin take a gore.
Not Rated Ralph.
No, not Rated Ralph. Rated Ralph's a good guy.
Ralph is not fair game.
Nope.
Even though CMC tried to pick on him. Oh, can we get Rhino to gore CMC? That'd be great.
Sure. You work on that. I'll work on Marvin. Let's see which one of us has more money to pay Rhino to get it done.
Maybe he can do both.
Yeah, if we pay him enough.
There you go. All right, so I think we both agreed Cena. We didn't agree on everything, which is good.
No, and actually with the women's, I went ahead and didn't agree just
to not agree.
Even though I like your idea and I like where it's going. But I just think because I don't think Bailey's going to win. I don't think. Who else is it? Oh, I don't think Chelsea's going to win.
No, not Chelsea. Bailey.
Huh?
Liv, Alexa, Bailey, Roxanne, or the other four. I had Chelsea in there on accident.
Chelsea's in it.
Madam President is not in it.
I thought she was.
Bianca, Naomi, Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Bailey, Roxanne Perez. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6.
Okay.
It would be a lot classier.
Oh, it was just Chelsea Piper that was in it, wasn't it? It was Piper that was in for the elimination. I thought they both were. I thought they both were in those qualifying matches.
Yeah, but I think they both lost.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, Minderz, do you know what time it is?
Who's whooping who? You got to get up.
All right. It is time for Who's Whooping Who.
That is the Moonshine Burger picture.
That was the look that I got when I thought that George Washington Carver was Blackula when we were playing a game on Marcos TV. All right, so this matchup that I thought of, Minderz, is kind of a callback to something we were discussing earlier, which was about Seth Rollins and cutting the promo just how he is. So our matchup this month is Seth Rollins versus Randy Savage.
All right.
Not for nothing, I'd be down for this if it was ever
if it had been possible.
Done. Yeah.
That's what this whole whooping who's about.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get to our tale of the tape. And all right, here we go. Macho 6'2", 237 from Sarasota, Florida, by way of Downers Grove, Illinois. Seth Rollins 6'1", 225 from Davenport, Iowa. Seth is a little more decorated than Macho.
Yeah, but Seth was also there when there wasn't as many stars, too.
Yeah, and Macho was there when there weren't as many belts.
Right.
He won all the singles belts they had at the time.
Yeah. Which was 2.
Yes. Let's see. Of course, Macho used the flying elbow. Seth uses the stomp. And generally, if you just go by the numbers, it's a pretty even matchup.
It really is. I was looking, and there's what, an inch difference in height.
And about
12 pounds.
Yeah.
You were going to say 20?
I was rounding up. But people yelling outside my window. Hey, Barry, what do you think of people yelling outside my window?
Are out.
All right, so let's get into this matchup, man. How do you imagine this going? I mean, We're gonna just to clarify roles here. I've got Macho as the heel. I got Rollins as the baby face.
Well, first of all, Seth's going to have to work his ass off because he's going to be perfect, or else he's going to piss off.
Oh, they'll have rehearsed this.
They better have, because Savage would kill him. I got to go with Savage on this, though.
Suppose I throw in a caveat.
Okay.
At ringside, we've got Sherry and we got Becky.
Ooh.
I picked Sherry just specifically for the physical aspect.
Yeah, because those two could go at it. Yeah. There's another one for later.
There's another for later one.
I mean, that way they could both take bumps. So who cares more about their woman?
Well, Seth is married to his.
Right. Yeah, but
and Sherry had no compunctions about taking a bullet for Macho.
No, she did not. So I'm still going Macho.
You think Macho's going to take this?
I do.
I can see it. I'm not going to say it would be as good as Macho and Steamboat, but style-wise, it would be very similar.
It would be very similar.
Match quality.
Well, and here's the thing. I think Seth would do more from the top rope. I think Seth would do more.
He does the springboards, too.
Right. He's going to be more of doing that type of stuff where Macho's going to be more technical. He's going to be...
Mm-hmm. He'd only go up to the top for an axe handle or an elbow drop.
Exactly. And I sometimes wonder... And I think, though, with the way Macho works, I think that would be a demise to Seth. So, AJ says...
Oh, what do you say?
Macho Man beats Seth Rollins with the elbow off the top. Oh, yeah. What do you think, Reb?
I agree. It'd be... Although... I could see Seth trying to go hold for hold with Macho.
Oh, totally.
Do
you have sirens outside your window?
Yeah, as I said, the window's open, so I'm hearing everything out there. The big question is, who's a better cheater? And I gotta say Macho.
Macho,
he's not... Neither one was afraid to play dirty, but Macho, I think, is sneakier. Yeah, I think you're right.
Honestly, Sherry is sneakier.
That's true. Becky's not really sneaky, is it?
Nope. Becky's not sneaky.
Yeah. So I see this match ending one of two ways. Number one, big elbow.
Right.
That's the obvious choice. Or Macho with the foreign object in the tights. Punch Seth in the face on the back suplex of the apron.
Brass knucks.
He's beaten Steamboat twice that way. Steamboat tried to suplex him back in from the apron, and Macho just popped him in the head with it was like a piece of like pipe or something in his head.
Yeah.
And then he would get the pin.
Yep.
If you have WWE 2K25 and you can make this match happen, let us know how it goes.
AJ.
But yeah, so that will conclude who's whooping who for this week. Sometimes this one doesn't go as long as other ones do, but that's all right.
That's fine. That's our special segment. That's usually our last one of the month.
Mm-hmm. Next week we have another Hall of Fame, and I already have it in my head who's going in.
That's fine. Can I get a heads up on the top 10 though this month?
I will do what I can. I'm not even sure what the top 10 is going to be yet. So.
Has to be something lucky. It'll be right around St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
No, it'll be before St. Patty's Day. Never mind. No. I don't know.
Let's see. This is the 25th.
No, it'll be the week before St. Patty. It'll be the Wednesday before or Tuesday before St. Patty's.
It'll be the 11th. So.
Yep.
It'll be the last episode before St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So I'll have to think of something Irish or lucky or something.
Hornswoggle's going to have to win.
Best Irish gimmicks.
Yeah, there you go. Where's my Hornswoggle? There's my Hornswoggle hat. I just found my Hornswoggle hat.
How cool is he, by the way?
He was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. So
wait,
tomorrow,
one last check. Let's see if I'm going to squeal or if we're good.
One last expo check. Okay. While you're doing that, I'm going to put our plugs in, Minderz. Tomorrow night, Independent Wrestling Shootout. We're going to talk about this past Saturday in Edgewood for 01 USA. No guests that I'm aware of, Minderz.
Nope.
No guests. That's all right. And then this Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time on Spotify and Audible, the next episode of the Extreme F and Review podcast. Talk about ECW on TNN. And next week on JTR, no guest. But I think we'll have a lot to talk about. We're talking about fallout from the Chamber, from NXT, LFG probably, and hopefully more updates from the Expo.
Hopefully, well, we'll see. Yeah. They ought to be about getting close to having everybody announced.
I hope so, but I hope they got more ECW people coming though.
Because they've got a lot of people announced. There's a lot of people I'm not going to be able to get to.
Yeah.
Well, I'll probably skip
this guy.
Oh no, he's number one on my. He's one of the top ones on my list actually. But I know I really want to get JBL and I really want to get Farouk.
Holler,
JR.
Yeah. We'll talk about all of this stuff in April, Minderz, when we have Expo Month.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for Expo Month.
Every week in April, we have somebody somewhat involved in the Swerve Circle Expo who's going to be joining us.
Yeah, because we have, just to give you a heads up, we've got Jack Vaughn, we've got Heather, what's Heather's last name?
Heather Owens.
We've got, you said
Jake
Toby.
Ullman. Our buddy Toby Hope from Hope Promotions, he's going to be running a table, and he's bringing in some guests for the Expo. He's going to come on and talk with us about that. Mr. International, Jake Ullman. Put respect on his name. And then
the week after, we have Jeremiah Plunkett.
Yes. Jack Vaughn, by the way, just to make sure you guys know, is going to be a
pre-record.
It's going to be a pre-record, and it's just going to be an interview. It's not going to be a bunch of stuff. It's going to be like a bonus episode.
Yeah.
Just because we're pre-recording that the day before, or a couple days before.
To work with his schedule.
Yes, because we are nothing if not flexible.
Try to be.
Yes. Thanks again to Fuego del Sol for joining us. He's a lot
so
of fun.
Awesome.
He will be coming back. We're going to make this happen.
Yes.
Thank you to Noodles for almost stepping on my keyboard again. And
like always. Okay. After SCX and after we replenish our bank accounts.
What are you insisting that we spend too much money at the expo?
Oh no, I know I spend too much money at the expo. When I'm planning on taking almost $1,500 with me, and I'm hoping to come home with some.
Don't say that out loud.
Well, I don't care. They know. Doesn't mean I'm going to have it on me all at once. Thank you.
That's true.
That's how I usually do it. I split it up. I only allow myself so much. But we need to talk about getting Jack Victory back on here. I want to get him back on. And hopefully John Nord.
Yeah. Oh, we'll talk to Nord at the expo.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get something accomplished there.
Yes. So a lot of things cooking. I think it's time to get out of here because I'm getting hungry, Minderz.
Me too.
We're
going to be done before 8 o'clock. I'm impressed.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, let's get out of here, Minderz. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. And until next week, reminding you all, life is hard, work stiff, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.